No, it's great. It's a beautiful Michigan day, and I'm very happy to be with you this afternoon because this is a good event in terms of signing legislation about putting the veterans designation on Michigan's driver's licenses and state ID cards. So I want to thank my partners in the legislature for their hard work passing these bills. This is an important matter. It's great to have so many different veterans groups standing up here with me and in the audience. This is all about continuing to take better care of our veterans. Michigan was a state that was behind in terms of how we were dealing with our veterans, in terms of the benefits they were receiving, in terms of how we were processing things, how we were helping them find jobs. And I feel good that we've made significant progress over the last couple of years. There's still more work to be done. We're not through by any means, but I think we've seen tremendous progress over the last couple of years. And this is a continuation of that. If you looked at it again, helping people find a job in terms of the job fairs we've seen, going through the process of licensing for veterans that happen to be in the military and have certain skill sets to make it easier for them to get licenses. We received our accreditation from the VA so we can help do benefits better for veterans in that whole process. We're trying to coordinate better with our wonderful veteran service organizations, and we clearly thank you for all your hard work helping your fellow veterans. And let's just keep going in terms of this process. So this is another step in that. By having this driver's license with the veterans designation, it does a couple things. Hopefully it makes it easier for veterans to receive benefits they may get from discounts, other opportunities in the general public. When they go out to purchase items or goods, they can show very easily that they're a veteran with an honorable discharge. The other thing that this will be helpful for, I view, is in some cases, even in Michigan as the state government, we're not aware sometimes of who is a veteran. And by having this designation on their driver's license, by going through that process, it'll alert us to Military and Veterans Affairs, our Veterans Affairs group, so we can figure, are there other things we can do to contact them, to be proactive, to help them? So I think it's a win all around. So this is just a good day, good legislation, good people. With that, though, I'd like to share the podium with some of my colleagues from the legislature so they can make some comments. And with that, I'd like to start with the sponsor from the Senate side, Senator Darwin Galore.
Thank you. I want to thank the Governor for the invitation to be here today and my guests to be present for this bill signing. Thank you, Governor. I appreciate that. Joining me today is Ray Franz, the Vice Chair of the House Military and Veterans Affairs Committee and co-sponsor of this legislation, as well as Dr. Rich Santer from Big Rapids, Mecosta County, Lynn Corsetti from Sanilac County, both of whom are veterans of the U.S. Army. I'm glad they could all join us here today. A year ago, in April, I was contacted by my constituent, Dr. Santer. He explained how, as a veteran, he tried to obtain discounts offered at a local store near his home, but they would not accept his official DD-214 form as proof of service. He learned that Florida had recently made it so designations could be added to a driver's license to make it easier to recognize our veterans, and suggested that we do the same in Michigan. After looking into the issue, I discovered that Representative Jenkins was working on this, and so we joined together to get the bill through to our legislature. As we approach the Memorial Day, where we pause to remember all of those who gave service to our country, I am pleased that this legislation will be signed into law before then. I would like to thank all the veterans for their service to our country. This legislation will make it easier to officially recognize them, and I am proud to have been part of it. And I'll turn it over to Representative Jenkins. Thank you.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here today, and thank you, Governor, for seeing us through on this bill. This is an exciting day for veterans. In view of term limits, this has been a long day in coming for me, for my staff, and for one constituent from our district in particular. Shortly after being elected in 2010, I was contacted by a veteran in my district who is an activist for veterans' causes. I've got a bill idea, he said, allowing veterans to show their paperwork once to someone in the Secretary of State's office, who would then place a designation on their driver's license. Would be so much more convenient for those needing to prove their status at stores, vendors, and other places that require that information. His idea made sense to me. So together with my staff, we went to work to get the bill introduced. Every now and then I get a Facebook message asking how the bill was coming along. Sometimes he would forward an article that highlighted another state that was doing just what we were trying to do. If that state can do it, he said, why not Michigan? We ran into some roadblocks last term. The bill just didn't gain traction, but we continued to push forward and reintroduce the bill this term. To my amazement, not only was it picked up, but it gained a lot of attention. Thanks to the Secretary of State and for backing this bill, and to Committee Chairman Jim Stamas as well. The bill has worked its way through the process, and we stand here today. Everywhere I go in the district, I have veterans thanking me for this legislation. I wish I could take credit for the idea, but I always say it was because of one persistent constituent, Steve McGee, who's with me today in the back row back there. I just want to say thanks to Steve for his advocacy for the veterans of Michigan. It is because of you that we are here today. As we prepare to commemorate Memorial Day this month, it is fitting that we should honor the men and women who laid their lives on the line for us, for our freedom. This legislation is a small token of thanks for their sacrifice. It's the least that we can do.
Thank you, Darwin, and thank you, Nancy. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our great Secretary of State, who obviously, when you're talking about a driver's license, she's the person of the hour here. And so I appreciate all of her hard work on many initiatives, and I know she was a strong supporter, and as Nancy said, that's one of the key reasons this got done. So with that, Secretary of State Ruth Johnson.
This is a great day for the 680,000 veterans that live here in Michigan. That one word, veteran, will tell the world this is someone that stands tall, someone that's willing to be away from their family, someone willing to fight for the greater good. Even when they do so, they put their own life on the line. I'm very excited about being part of this. Can't wait until we get the computers up and going, and that should be next year, so that we can make sure that those of you that have served this country can be recognized. And I hope anybody that works in a bank, a store, anytime you show your driver's license, when they see the veterans designation on there, they take a moment to thank you for what you've done for our great country. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth. And we have one final speaker, but he's truly a distinguished gentleman that I've had the honor to work with, and he's still in uniform. And that's a special thing we need to be thankful for. He's done an outstanding job with the National Guard and also with our veterans. So it's with great honor I'm introducing Major General Greg Vadney.
Thanks, Governor. Thank you, and it is a great day for the veterans of the great state of Michigan and those still wearing the uniform today. And I just want to say, on behalf of the Michigan veterans and those still wearing the uniform of this great nation, thank you to the Governor, Secretary of State, to the legislature, and to all the citizens of Michigan that got behind this and made this happen. It's, you know, we take another bite out of the elephant in terms of dealing with veterans issues, and a great and important bite it is, and we continue to move forward with positive, relentless action. So thank you, Governor. Stole this line. I should have been smart.
We need to do, and the most important one is get the computer system reset. That usually takes about 1 year. We're going to do everything we can to expedite it as quickly as we can. Secondly, we have about 750 people that we need to train to make sure they know what they're going to be receiving and then how to go ahead and put this together. So we're working on it already, and we hope that it will be up and running in 1 year.